Hello, I am Jennifer Frazier, the co-chair of ECEA. Before you view the closing ceremony, I wanted to acknowledge that I used the wrong pronouns for one of the award winners. The winner goes by the pronouns they and them, and as you see the recording, I unintentionally used the wrong pronouns. We as an organization and I as an individual respect everyone, and I wanted to make sure that I was able to make that acknowledgement of using the wrong pronouns for that winner. I do not want to tell you who the winner is right now because I do want you to see it during the recording and to hear the words that they are saying. As an organization, we thank you all for being a part of this day, and we hope that you enjoyed yourself and that you will listen to the words that these winners have said for the work that they are doing within the schools and in the communities. Have a wonderful evening.
Hi, welcome to the Early Childhood Education Assembly virtual day of early childhood closing session for 2020. My name is Sandra Osorio, and I currently serve as the ECA chair.
And I am Jennifer Frazier, and I am the co-chair of ECEA.
And first of all, I want to just take a moment to thank everyone for participating in our first virtual day of early childhood. We greatly appreciate the amazing presenters that shared all the work that they're doing and the engaging conversation and live Q&A Zoom sessions that we had throughout the day.
We have had an opportunity to have some wonderful recipients for our Social Justice Award. And we would like to congratulate our winner, Key Gross.
Everybody, my name is Key. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm the founder and creator of Woke Kindergarten. Woke Kindergarten is a global abolitionist early learning community, creative expanse, and consultancy, essentially supporting children, families, educators, and organizations in their commitment to abolitionist teaching in the early years and pro-Black liberation. Woke Kindergarten really is what abolitionist teaching looks like in our earliest years. So word to Dr. Bettina Love for just spearheading this movement of what it means to practice abolition in education and giving a framework and a guide for being able to do this work with such young learners. So what I do at Woke Kindergarten essentially is everything happens through a very critical and creative lens. So much of abolition is about destruction, right? Destroying the systems, destroying the structures. Sometimes we think so much about the destruction that we forget about the creation. And so often before we even have the chance to actually completely destroy something, to destroy a system or an institution, I mean, that takes forever, right? We have to have an idea of what we want to create. We have to know what's going to be better. And so Woke Kindergarten is really about creating the space for children to envision possible futures as present realities. So what does it look like if we don't have what we need? We can create it. We can come together and we can make it. We have the power inside of us. We're able to resist these systems and structures enough to understand that they're not serving us, they're not good for us. And so what can we do collectively in community, no matter how old you are? What can we create? We all have the ability to create, and so much of very young children, so much of very young children's resistance is in their ability to create and to express themselves so rawly and freely. And it is in their empathy and their ability to heal and to be so resilient. And so Woke Kindergarten's lens is really through the lens of abolitionist teaching, but also healing-centered engagement and just very expansive and experiential creation. What does it look like to create what's not there? If it doesn't exist, I'm not even worried about it. That's not a barrier. I'll do it myself. And so that's really how the content creation and curation happens with Woke Kindergarten is really through this process of what do kids need? What do Black children need? And I really want Black children to be able to have a mirror for who they are, you know, Black children, Indigenous children, queer and trans children, gender expansive children, to be able to have a mirror for for who they are in their many, many multiple intersectional identities. What does it feel like to be affirmed in your learning, in the work that you're doing every day? What does it feel like to be celebrated, to be understood, and to be seen, truly seen? To really, truly create a more liberatory future, we must make sure that Black trans people, Black queer people, all Black people, all Indigenous people are able to not only just live, but to thrive in this world. And so I believe that we can do that through abolition. And that's essentially who I am. A few years ago, I started Black Teachers Matter and a nonprofit called Equitable Schools, which I since dissolved as my ideologies evolved. And so now I also run an account called Why Abolition, and I do a lot of other kind of creative work with my team, Women Amplify, where we help to amplify the voices of queer and trans and gender expansive independent artists of color. So much of woke kindergarten is rooted in what does it look like to see our healing in practice and in praxis? What does it look like to really focus on healing our inner children? What did we not get before that we should be giving to our children now? And so that requires a ton of self-reflection and self-interrogation and introspection into what has traumatized us, what has hurt us. Because in order to be able to do this work, this abolitionist teaching work in general, but especially in the early years, we have to be able to heal ourselves in order to do the healing work that we do for children. So ultimately, just thank you so much for this award. I'm still shocked, but really grateful in receiving this. Thank you for understanding and acknowledging and seeing my work. And as always, all power to the little people.
That was Key, our Social Justice Award winner for 2020. So, our Social Justice Award is given to those who are doing a lot of activism within their classroom. So, visit her site, Woke Kindergarten at Woke Kindergarten, and she said, "Power to the little people." Doesn't matter how young they are, they can and they will be able to fight against the injustices that are seen every day within our communities and within the schools. So again, we congratulate Key Gross for the Social Justice Award. Our second award goes to Dr. Maggie Beneke, and this is our Early Literacy Educator Award. And so this award is given to an educator or professor who is working in the areas of dismantling all injustices and fighting for equality. So with Dr. Maggie Beneke's work, she's going to share with you some things that she has done, but she was the recipient winner for this because of what she does every day with her children. Go ahead and listen to what she has to say.
Hi, everyone. My name is Maggie Beneke, and I'm so honored to have been selected for the ECEA's 2020 Literacy Educator of the Year Award for Teacher Educator. I want to start by just acknowledging that my voice is pretty rough right now. I caught a cold from one of my children, so please bear with me, and I'm going to try to keep this recording short. I was asked to say just a bit about who I am and the work that I do. I'm currently an assistant professor in the College of Education at University of Washington in Seattle, which exists on Coast Salish homelands. And there I work within the early childhood special education program, so working with teacher candidates, current teachers, future teacher educators, and researchers. And I also work as an affiliate faculty member in the Disability Studies program, as well as in the Banks Center for Educational Justice. And I'm also a former teacher of young children with and without disabilities. So I taught for about 8 years in the Boston area. And in all the work that I do, whether it's research, teaching courses, partnering with community through outreach, I strive to be in solidarity with disability justice communities. to dismantle and undo deficit-based discourses surrounding young children's identities and competencies, particularly young children of color with disabilities, and honoring the assets and resources of multiply marginalized young children and their families. And I do that work in the context of literacy. So I specifically focus on how early educators, young children, and families resist oppressive notions of normalcy through critical literacies, and consider how that resistance can inform a reimagining of what teacher education and early childhood education can and should be. And so I just want to say again, thank you for recognizing me and this work. I certainly have been raised and mentored by some incredible folks, including children. And so want to recognize that too. And just appreciate being recognized alongside such wonderful colleagues and scholars and teachers and teacher activists. So thank you.
So we hope you have enjoyed our virtual day of early childhood conference. We know that a lot of you are possibly already members of the ECEA community, but if you are not and you've enjoyed the sessions today, we highly encourage you to join and become a member of our assembly. You can do so by visiting our website, earlychildhoodeducationassembly.com. And then here are just some of the benefits of being a member. Finally, if you do not follow us yet, please do so on both Facebook at Early Childhood Education Assembly and Twitter at ECEA NCTE. So thanks again, everyone, for a wonderful day.